Hello, this is Mullins117, and this is a goals update. So, first off, I am in contact with an artist right now. He is pretty much exactly what I was hoping for, exactly what I was looking for, which is really awesome. He has a darker style. The lines are choppier, rougher, in a good way. Not like an amateur sort of way, but more of a purposeful sort of manner. Then second, so if I can get in contact with him, I should be able to, churn out illustrations over the course of the next month or two. Hopefully, we'll have to see. So there's no promises there, but hopefully they'll be able to work out. So, and I've already contacted like 15 different artists, and he has been the only one to reach out to me and been responsive. So I'm probably going to go with this guy that I'm currently in contact with for those reasons, mainly for professionalism over everything else. I've gotten some negotiations and contact with, what's his face? Gravity Tales, not Gravity Falls. So things are working out great there. So hopefully I'll be able to talk to them and see if I can't get some sort of better idea of their policies and what posting on their website actually means, because they keep a much more professional layout towards their website. So in RRL Row Road, as much as I like the website and as much as it's a great place for a beginning writer to, basically mature, there is no quality control, and oftentimes stories that aren't very good at all will get the most amount of exposure. So once you know the system, you can sort of work your way around it. But that's sort of inevitable with how they have their site set up. But it sort of leans itself more towards production than quality. Gravity Tales is the exact opposite. So they tend to do a lot of quality control. So you have to have at least 50,000 words in your story. You have to have a basic grasp of English, and all kinds of stuff like that. So hopefully it'll work out well. As far as the other stuff, the website's moving along. Progress is kind of slow because editing the chapters is difficult. I am redoing how everything is set up, the formatting for all the system. And that basically makes it so it's a much more consistent setup from chapter to chapter, because that's something I did, was change how the status screens are shown throughout the story. And sometimes it makes sense with the plot. Other times I did it because I saw how it could be better and be improved, so I enacted the changes. And that doesn't always work out for making the story as consistent or as fluent as it could be. Regardless, it's something that I'm ironing out during my edit, along with a lot of other stuff. I'm changing a couple plot points, mainly how Michael and Kelsey were handled. I feel like it could have been better. Trying to humanize Daniel more, because there was a period in the story where he's a little bit robotic and a little bit less than responsive. He seems like he doesn't have a conscience, and I feel like that's a perfectly fair criticism. And I'm going to do what I can to sort of iron that out. But that's difficult to do whenever I'm trying to write trying to keep up and maintain the production of these other chapters, especially whenever I'm having to juggle all this other stuff, because the goals kind of came in fast and hard. So trying to do what I can to get them all done, and hopefully they'll all come together pretty quick once I get the preliminary stuff handled. So outside of that, I'm thinking of doing another video series about maybe some weightlifting stuff, because a couple people have commented that I look like I lift, and I actually do, as surprising as that may sound to some people. And it's something I enjoy, so I like to talk about, fitness in general and diets and stuff like that. I have my own take on things, and it is a little bit different from some people, but it's not terribly so. And some of the advice I would give would be very familiar, and some of it though would be very unique. So maybe if I was to add a couple tidbits of unique and original information towards the current fitness conversation, and maybe help some of you guys out with getting swole, that'd be awesome. So, boom! I don't have the biggest arm, but I got something. So hopefully it isn't too disappointing, and hopefully it'll be something to watch, I guess, and see if some of you guys would enjoy talking about it. So I also take a very pragmatic approach towards weightlifting. I am not someone who spends 6 hours or they go to the gym 6 times a week and Tupperware all my meals and portion them all out. I eat tons of milk, tons of vegetables, and that's basically how I maintain my current physique, which is, it's all right. It's above average, so that's good. And that's basically what I do. I also don't focus on strength. It's purely for aesthetics. I don't care at all about how strong I am. So, plus if I get an injury or something like that, it may mess up my hands. And I need those things to write. So, priorities. I'd much rather be a writer than a weightlifter, for sure. It's just something I do as an extraneous side activity that I enjoy. So, hopefully, that would be interesting to you guys. I could also do videos on my ideation process for how I write. That's something I've been interested in, is making it so that instead of trying to tell you guys the exact reasons and all that other stuff for why I write, I would explain how I do it and how I was able to develop my skills as a writer, and how I was able to basically get to a point where I can produce, I would like to think, quality content at a rate of production that most people and most other authors and writers sort of think, wow, that's extremely fast. That's what I'm going for. And it's a process to how I do it, and maybe that can help out with a lot of other people, especially in a video format where the information is very easily digestible. So outside of that, the third idea I would have, let me think. Honestly, that'd probably be about it. Maybe I could do some diet stuff as well, because I have a crazy ass diet and a crazy ass philosophy on food in general. It is very foreign and it's straight up alien to some, and I've described it towards people and they have literally leaned back in shock at how ridiculous it is. So it's basically the idea of caloric analysis. But anyway, I can describe it in another video because it is a whole nother beast, trust me. So hopefully this goals update wasn't too disappointing. Hopefully it was actually entertaining in some regards. And I should probably quit droning on. So this was Monster 117, and peace out.